Welcome to the 7th season of Rebel Wrap-Up. I'm your host, Tim Tao. With me today is head coach of the Fannin County Rebels, Chad Cheatham. Offensive coordinator, Chris Thigpen. We'll be joined by quarterback Luke Holloway to my left and senior wide receiver, Kahutta Hyde. We will also be joined by Mason Bundy and Micah O'Neill in our second segment. You can find this segment on FYNTV.com under Team FYN Sports. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Team FYN Sports for all your North Georgia High School sports scores and updates. Go hit like on our Team FYN Sports Facebook page. The Fannin County Rebels are coming off a big 24-20 victory over the Union County Panthers last Friday night in Blairsville. It was the first win for Fannin over Union County since 2013 and the first win at Blairsville since 2007. Fannin is in a new region this year as they've dropped down to 7AA. There'll be no more GAC and Dawson and North Hall for Fannin this season. The new region will consist of Pepperell, Gordon Central, Model, Chattooga, Dade, and Coosa. This past week, Pepperell lost to Harrelson 28-14. Pepperell traveled to Harrelson and got beat. Chattooga traveled to Adairsville and came up short 35-28. Quarterback Cash Allen for Chattooga and running back LaShawn Lester had big days, but it wasn't enough to overcome the deficit. Gordon Central hosted Woodland and lost 14-0. Dade County traveled to Gordon Lee and lost 50-28. And Model traveled to Sonoraville and lost a close one 20-14. Fannin was the only 7AA region team to win Friday night. Coosa had a bye. We've got Coach Cheatham and Coach Thigpen here with us. Coach Cheatham, what did it mean to be able to play Friday night with all the uncertainty surrounding the season?
Well, you know, it's something that we've hoped for since March 13th when we got, sent home from school and then come back in June, coming back as 10 in a group and 10 in a group and 10 in a group and then eventually gaining. But, we were glad to get there. We felt very fortunate. We felt very blessed. It's something that our seniors wanted. Our seniors needed. I think that the way we prepared over the past 3 years to get to this moment's gigantic, and man, it took a lot of work. It's hard to prepare a team in times like this, and you have to deal with a lot more than just coaching X's and O's. You got to deal with sanitation and washing clothes and making sure they're separate, making sure they're wearing these things when we're around each other. So it was awesome to be on the field with them and be able to experience that on Friday night.
Coach Thigpen, same question to you. What did it mean to be able to play Friday night with all the uncertainty surrounding the season in the last few months?
I just think it was nice to almost feel normal for a couple hours on a Friday night, to see people in the stands and have those two communities come together and to be around our kids and get to do what we want to do, and just even having the last couple of weeks of school be relatively normal. It's just good to be around these cats.
Absolutely. So let's dive into the game recap. We'll start with the first half. Union won the toss and deferred to the second half. We got the ball and drove right down the field for a touchdown. Luke hit Kahutta in the end zone for a great 18-yard touchdown pass. Jack Katner extra point was good, and we led 7-0. Luke, how did it feel to take your team down the field and score on the first drive of the season?
It felt great. I mean, we knew playing a good Union County team, we definitely had to do something early on to set the tone, and that was the first drive of the game, and I feel like we made the best of that opportunity and set the tone for the game.
Kahutta, how did it feel to catch the first score of the season?
It felt really good getting the season started that way, and knowing that against a good Union team we were able to get some points up on the board really quick. That felt good and gave us some confidence.
And Coach Cheatham and Coach Thigpen, you guys can answer this question. Definitely big to get the score first in that rivalry game, a game that we've not won in many years. So how important was it to strike first in that game?
Well, I think the most important series of the game was the very first one, and the first one in the second half when we had to kick off to them. That's what I told our kids. You set the tone right now in both quarters. We were able to go through, get them 3 and out in the second half, and that was big. And we knew we needed to stop right then. So, getting rolling and getting some confidence. Brian does, and his staff do a tremendous job. We knew it was going to be a war. We knew we couldn't make mistakes. We made some mistakes in the first half, fumbled football. They ran one in. We talked about toughness at halftime and attitude and energy and enthusiasm, belief, trust and faith, and all of it came through for us.
Same question, Coach. How big was it to go in there and score?
It was like Coach Cheatham said, Union is one of the best coached, if not the best coached team that we face all year. And so to go in and to get up 7-0, I think we took about 6 minutes off the clock on that drive too. So maybe kind of making them rethink their game plan a little bit, giving our guys confidence, giving defense confidence, knowing they're going out there on the field with a lead was huge for us.
Once again, you can find this segment on FYNTV.com under Team FYN Sports. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Team FYN Sports for all your North Georgia high school scores and updates. Go hit like on the Team FYN Sports Facebook page for other updates as well. Union County ended up getting a scoop and score to make it 7-0. One thing about, just like Coach Cheatham and Coach Thigpen were saying, Brian Allison is one of the best coaches in this area, and you can never count them out. Next time we get the ball after that, Luke would find Jalen and Jake Sands and Cahut on the drive. Then the first play of the second half, Luke pushed it in to make it 14-7 with a good push by Mason Bundy on the offensive line. Union would then take it down the field in the next drive. Logan Helcher had some great throws, and Jonah Daniel had a big 16-yard run that set them up on first and goal. Micah O'Neal and Logan Long had a stop, but Union was able to punch it in on third down to tie it up at 14. Following possession for Fannin County, Caleb Postel had some nice runs on the following drive, and Luke hit Andre down our sideline for a nice pass. Then Jack Katner knocked in a 21-yard field goal to make it 17-14. I know, Coach, me and you, I think, talked about it Saturday, but talk about the impact that our kicker had on the game.
Man, the beauty of Jack is he don't know what he doesn't know. I know that might sound kind of mean, but he didn't understand at that point how critical that was, just because he's not been there very long, and all he knew was just take that ball and put it, kick it between the uprights, and he walked out there without any thought in his head whatsoever. Did a great job, put it through. He did a great job all night long. I mean, from his extra points to his field goal to putting one in the end zone in the second half. I mean, he's been a great addition to our football team, one that we're really proud of.
Union done the best they could to score before halftime, but we walked into halftime with a 17-14 lead. Coach Cheatham, what did you say to your team at halftime?
Most important possession of the game's next possession, the second half, we had to kick off to them and get a stop. That was set the tone once again. It's a 48-minute game. It definitely wasn't over, and we knew that. We had to continue doing what we were doing. Control the ball. Coach Thigpen and offense did a great job of running minutes off the clock. And, a lot of my second half was trying to manage timeouts. They took a couple of them quickly in the third quarter, which I knew gave us an advantage. And I knew they had one left, so I was constantly talking to Coach Collis and Coach O'Neal up top, trying to manage the time to get us to a point where we could go stall. And then once we scored, we hit Andre, Luke did, I knew that we had a chance to possibly run the clock out with him only having one timeout. So a lot of my time was spent trying to figure out and manage the game as these guys were calling the game and making things work.
Coach Thigpen, what adjustments did the offense have to make coming out of the half?
Honestly, we kind of just kept going what we had been successful with there in the first half. They really started pinching the ends and bringing those outside backers, and so we had to make a few adjustments up front. And then just there at the end on the ball that Andre caught, we had ran same side ISO to the right, and they brought Hemphill, the big number 3, their safety, into the box a little bit more, and so we lined up in the same thing. And I just told Luke if he's in the box again, take a shot on Dre on the skinny post, and it was there. Dre made a great route and good catch.
We're about to go to the commercial break. After the commercial break, we will break down the second half versus Union. We'll also talk to Mason Bundy and Micah O'Neal and preview the game versus Gilmer. But before we go to the commercial, Luke and Cutter, we're both going to ask you this question. How did it feel to finally get a win over Union County?
Really good.
It felt good. I feel like we were very confident going into that game, whereas years prior we weren't so much confident. I mean, nothing against the past teams, but we just weren't near as confident. And this year we knew we had a really good shot to take them at their home field, and we capitalized on it. That's it.
What have you guys been working on this week to get prepared for Gilmer?
Usually the same thing as every week: protecting the ball, running good routes, working as a team.
Working as a team, staying focused as a team, because it's hard to lose focus after a big win.
can find this segment on FYNTV.com under Team FYN Sports. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Team FYN Sports for all your North Georgia high school scores and updates. Go hit like on our Team FYN Sports Facebook page. Guys, before we go to break, you got anything to say?
Good.
All right. All right. We will in a few moments.
At Ingalls, we know that school is a little different this year, with virtual learning and working from home. But we have continued to donate to our Tools for Schools program, just like always. And all our participating schools will have those funds waiting for them when the bell rings this fall.
Okay, who can tell me the difference between molarity and molality?
In the meantime, Ingalls has everything you need to make this school year a little easier. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
Sometimes it's the little victories that mean the most. Those everyday celebrations that bring a smile to our faces and joy to our hearts. At Ingalls, we know there's no one you'd rather share those miniature, memorable moments with than family. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
Welcome back to Rebel Wrap Up. I'm your host, Tim Tao. I'm here with head coach Chad Cheatham, offensive coordinator Chris Thigpen. We just had senior Luke Holloway and senior Kahutta Hyde with us. Now we're joined by senior Micah O'Neill and senior Mason Bundy. Guys, we're going to finished breaking down the Fannin Union game. So Union took a 20-17 lead heading into the fourth quarter. Mike and Mason, both of you guys are captains on the team. What role did you guys play in keeping everyone positive as we were trailing entering the fourth quarter?
I just knew that, we couldn't quit. They got up. We couldn't get our heads down. We just had to go out there and keep doing our job. It was, it was a tough game. It was a war the whole time, and we knew that we just had to go out there. We had to make stops on defense and do our jobs on offense.
Just made sure everybody was ready for battle up front. We had to stay focused and tried making the guys know that.
Fast forward into the fourth quarter now. Luke would find Andre in the end zone to give us a 24-20 lead with 5:49 left in the fourth quarter. Then Union would get the ball back, and then they would punt us, and we got the ball back. The Union would have the ball, and then Casey Owensby had an interception that's going to be talked about for years in Fannin County to seal the deal for us to win the ball game 24-20. Mike and Mason, we just talked to Luke and Cohutta about the same question, but how good did it finally feel to beat Union County?
It was just amazing. Union's always a big game for us, and we want to win. And when we were unsuccessful in the past years, and we knew that this year was going to be our last chance, and we had to make the most of our opportunity and go out there and just fight with all we had and win.
It was really nice. I feel like that set the tone for the next few weeks, especially.
Last time we won, your brother had a big pick six. You remember that game? That you probably don't. You're probably just a kid, Micah. But I remember Noah had the pick six to seal the deal for us, and that was 2013. Coach Cheatham and Coach Thigpen, same question. How good did it feel to beat Union County on Friday night, getting the win number 1 under a belt?
Well, I think when you prepare for so long and you're able to play a very good football team that is extremely well coached by Coach Allison and his staff, I think at the end you kind of sit back and you feel very fortunate to be in the situation that you're in. By no means did we do anything magical to outcoach those guys or to play. We just found a way at the end. It was an absolute war. They played their guts out. We played our guts out, and we were fortunate to come out on top. My hat goes off to those guys. My hat goes off to our kids for fighting for 48 minutes because it was physical. If you were there and you could hear it, it was one of the most physical games I've been a part of since I've been back home. But it's an honor to be able to play Brian and those guys and get a win. But you got to focus on next week. Humility's one Friday night away, so we got to get ready for this next one.
Yeah, it was physical on the sidelines too, Coach. Matt Queen knocked me down when Casey had that interception. I've got a bruise on my back right there from it, but it was a fun game to be a part of. Mike and Mason, these next questions are for you guys. What are you guys working on this week to prepare for Gilmer County?
I think the big thing's really just staying focused. Coming off a big win, it's easy to feel good about it and go easy through practice. When we're just trying to keep everybody focused and working hard and not fall asleep out on the field just because we got to win.
Mason, same thing.
Same thing as usual. Just be physical up front and win the line of scrimmage.
Coach Cheatham, Coach Thigpen, you guys can both talk about this. Talk about our upcoming game Friday against Gilmer County. Head coach Kevin Saunders is doing a great job in a short time there. Different style of offense than what we see on this past Friday night. Give us your thoughts on the game versus Gilmer on Friday.
Well, I'll talk to defense and I'll let Coach Thigpen talk from offense. They're wing teeth. That gives you fits. That gives you problems. Number one is you can't simulate it. Once you run that style of offense, it's very hard to get a good simulation in practice, and game speed is going to be important. They have several great players. 52 on their line of scrimmage. Their right guard plays extremely well, extremely hard. He's one of the best linemen we'll see all year. They have 24 who plays at the wing and at the fullback. He's one of the best kids we'll see all year. They have 2 who comes at the tight end in 84, and then also play on the defensive side. They have a good scheme. They're coached up well. They play hard. He has done a good job. They're physical, and it's going to be a 4-quarter game. We have to really, like they both said, you've got to forget what's behind you and you really got to focus in. It's easy for it to have a lapse after a big win. That's what cannot happen Friday night.
Coach Dick, Tim?
With their defense, they run a 3-4. That's what they shown against Pickens last week, which is very similar to what Union did last week. So as far as preparation for that, it has not been like our defense having to go against a completely different offense. And just looking at their personnel, I mean, they're pretty athletic in the secondary. They got their 4 linebackers that they run are all really good players. 52 that Coach was just talking about, he plays on their defensive front as well, and he goes hard. They fly to the football. They're physical, like Coach was saying. So we've got our work cut out for us on Friday night for sure.
You can find this segment on FYNTV.com under Team FYN Sports. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Team FYN Sports for all your North Georgia high school scores and updates. Go hit like on Team FYN Sports' Facebook page. Mike and Mason, last question before we head out of here. You guys have a chance to do only what 3 senior classes in school history have done, and that's go 4-0 over Gilmer County. What would a win on Friday night mean to you guys?
It would mean everything. You know, this is our last time ever getting to play Gilmer. You know, and to be part of a group that's so small, that would be amazing. We just got to go out there and we got to be physical and play hard all 4 quarters.
It'll definitely set the tone for the next few weeks to come.
Once again, you can find this segment on FYNTV.com under Team FYN Sports. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Team FYN Sports for all your North Georgia high school scores and updates. Go hit like on our Team FYN Sports Facebook page. Coach Cheatham, any final thoughts?
No, we're just ready. With big JV game tomorrow night, 5:30. We play Union again with our JV, and that's going to be another war. And then we got to get ready to play, get rested up, get our legs under us, hydrate, and see what happens on Friday night. Really focus over the next 48, 72 hours and do our job.
Big week for Rebel football. As the JV plays Thursday, high school plays Friday. Our rec opens up on Saturday.
Middle school plays Gilmer.
Middle school, yep. Gilmer against tomorrow at Gilmer, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep, at Gilmer. I mean, so Fannin County football's back. It's a special time for all of us under head coach Chad Cheatham. Friday night, 7:30 p.m. Huff Mosley Memorial Stadium, Fannin versus Gilmer. I'm excited. Hope you guys are too. Hope to see everybody down there. This is Tim Towle, host of Rebel Wrap Up. Thank you guys for tuning in. Signing off.